So I've got, well, a couple things. One, I feel like I'm hanging on to the club. I feel like I'm not releasing the club. I feel like I don't know where, I think part of it that's really uncomfortable is I feel like I don't know where the face is.
Got it.
So a lot of my swings, you know how it is, like you can get away with that feeling with like wedges. But as soon as I get less loft, I feel very like kind of flinchy at the ball. And
I think this lesson will be really interesting because we never filmed our first ever lesson, but this is very reminiscent.
Did we not?
We never filmed it. When we first met, we never filmed what we did
this
initially
can be
first. But I think this is, it's not that extreme anymore,
Okay,
but there's a lot of similarities between your old swing and how it looks right now.
Okay.
So
And that makes sense because it feels pretty, like it just doesn't feel good.
gotcha. Yeah,
Feels uncomfortable.
Yeah, hit a couple,
Okay.
and then we'll go from there. What iron are you hitting?
7.
Gotcha. Yeah, things obviously don't look as bad as the first ever swing that you've shown me, but it definitely is
not.
trending closer to that direction
Okay.
than the model swing I thought, in my idea, what your model swing was.
Yeah, which would probably have been, I don't know, like 2 years ago kind of thing.
Yeah. So if we look at the numbers right now, and this is, I'm glad this is happening. A lot of people tend to chase numbers, right? They tend to chase numbers, and your delivery really isn't that bad. If we look at strictly the numbers on the delivery standpoint, your inside, your path and AOA is actually quite close together.
Right.
This one you got a little bit 6.8 degrees.
Yeah,
is
it's a
good, but
crappy
still very manageable, right? Your toe is up, which is good, because your old you would have been quite toe down.
Interesting is that toe up.
Yeah. So
Okay.
there's still a lot of good things happening, right? The delivery is quite good, but you don't feel good at all.
It doesn't feel good.
So we don't want to ever chase numbers.
Right.
Numbers will always sort itself out. So when we go towards a launch angle, we know it is launching a bit low, especially at 14 and a half. Right?
Yeah,
That's very reminiscent of the old you with a 7 iron. That's quite low.
Yeah, we want at least
I think
like
the best
19,
view is
20.
like the high teens.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, the high teens. And you
be
got
low.
on this last one, but you mishit it quite a bit. Like
Oh, yeah.
119 ball speed is very low for your 7 iron.
It's open face.
Yeah, because it's very open, but it did somehow make its way back because
I don't know how, but
yeah, because your path is a little bit greater than usual.
okay, gotcha.
But it probably didn't feel very good.
No.
And that would be a miss you were
Oh, yeah.
seeing, right? The last time you played?
It's 2 directional misses, which is why I feel
Gotcha.
so like uncomfortable.
Gotcha.
It's okay.
Gotcha.
But just
So-
feels very tentative.
So let's watch. So this is very like kind of original you almost, where at the top you get so one, you're a little flat with the shaft,
Okay.
and 2, you're a little bit too wrist hinged, okay? The arm unit in relation to your torso isn't as good.
Yeah.
Your left arm is actually folding a little bit more than I'd like, and you're actually too much wrist hinge at the top.
Too much hinge and the shaft is very flat.
Yes. So because of that, you can see you're actually not as rotated as you usually are. You barely see your right butt cheek.
So very square to
Not
the
as
ball.
square as it has been in the past, but definitely not as open as the good ones are, okay? But for you, the key thing right now is just really managing your left arm bend and your wrist hinge. But I think for now, as long as you feel no hinge, it should stretch that left arm back out.
So it's going to be also a way of getting more turn
Correct.
and more width.
Correct. So for everyone watching, people who don't turn well typically have the most wrist hinge and the most arm fold because they need to get length in their swing.
Yeah, that makes
So
sense.
they're at parallel, but they're not turning at all.
I think it's probably me trying to keep my speed up and like my neck and shoulder is better than it was, but I can see how I got into that habit of like the turn feels not great.
Right.
So I'm just going to collapse my
Correct.
arms.
Yeah, and that's a very common thing.
But I
most of
should
your
now, I
viewers
should have the
probably will
mobility now. I should
Yes.
have it back
Yes.
because it doesn't feel, and actually funny you say that, like I have felt a little bit sore recently, and I wonder if that's because I have been getting a little bit like very armsy
Maybe,
and
yeah.
pinching in here.
Maybe. So
Okay.
let's try. So just think about no wrist hinge, point the club towards the camera. Yes, good. How'd that one feel?
The strike felt really nice. I feel like the face just came back to square.
See how much more shaft we see?
It doesn't look that extreme either.
It's not.
No.
It's actually not even as extreme as where it used to be when you were really good.
Yeah.
But this is, at least it's a much better range for you. Good, good. That's fine for now.
Just towed it a bit.
Yep. But that hook is not even close to the other hook that you hit earlier today.
Not even close.
Good. So now, so I think the no wrist hinge thing is definitely easier to, it's manageable, right?
It's very manageable, yeah.
So the last piece is, the second piece to this, the complementary piece, if you can, is this. I want you to stop your arm unit. Your arm hand club as one unit. I want you to stop it when your torso stops.
Okay.
Better, much better, much better. The first few when you do this will feel weird timing-wise. It may make you feel more rushed in transition.
Okay.
Because you bought yourself time
Right.
by just folding and past the end point of your turn.
Oh, okay, okay.
Yes, good. Really good. Watch this. See that?
Yeah, that
And
looks
then
more
you-
like the rehearsal.
Right, so when they're playing in normal speed, doesn't look as rushed.
Does not.
The first attempt when you did it, you were very rushed because it felt way different in timing.
I see.
You bought yourself time, like I said, by just keep folding.
Yeah.
Now that you don't, you're like, oh shit, let me get back to the ball.
Yeah, yeah.
But you gotta create that timing by just feeling like either you pause or you roll through the stop sign slowly.
It just has to be a difference in the timing of it because I'm used to, as you said, I had a bunch of extra time from drift.
Correct.
Now, because the arms and chest are synced up, it's almost like the last part of the backswing happens a bit slower.
Exactly.
I gotcha.
Exactly.
Okay. Just a toe strike, that's all.
Yep, that's fine. We want so no hinge backswing, that's number one. But
Yep.
everything else stays the same. Takeaway still the same, all that's the same. Number two, making sure your arm unit is synced up with your torso turn.
Right. Yep.
And then number three, if you can, I would just have you play straight arm finish probably for the next
Oh,
week.
for the straight arm finish. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because that will ensure that your arms don't outrace your turn in a downswing, right? Nice.
Yeah, it feels nice.
Watch this.
Feels a little bit more in sync.
Perfect. That's perfect.
That's the best one I've hit since we
That's
started.
a perfect rep. As soon as I saw the takeaway, it was very likely going to be good. Watch this. See that?
Yeah, just a bit more in.
And then, good. And then,
It's much more rotated, way more rotated.
yeah, an impact now, way more rotated. And then good finish, so
Interesting. That feels good. Okay.
that's
It's a back to basics lesson.
So good, dude.
Yeah, that one felt really good.
I love that.
Sweet.
Yeah, so literally all you need here is no hinge.
No hinge.
Unit moves in sync with the torso turn
Yep.
with that slight inside takeaway, so nothing changes, and then straight arm finish. Yep.
Okay. Let's keep it short and sweet.
Yes.
Good lesson. Thanks, buddy.